I'm going to give you all somewhat of more of a real poem. This is for my wife. She's right there taking pictures. She's my little escape artist. And sometimes she has to David Blaine in order to remain sane. So I race down interstate roads in the dead of night to ensure she catches red-eye flights at least once a year. She's got to get up out of here. And I have sometimes feared that she will abandon this country green grass for faded gray concrete jungle. She's not from around these parts. Often finding a void of vacancy in this land of southern hospitality, and my non-profit, low-income living isn't exactly what she left hometown hardships to seek shelter from. Sometimes she escapes reality. Sometimes she lets me come along for that ride. Sometimes she cries about our current condition, and I feel so small because I ain't got no answers. Sometimes I feel the need to perfect my own disappearing act so that she can have a fair shake at prosperity. Sometimes I think she's doing charity work, and I have a really creative cardboard sign. Sometimes she escapes clean out of her doggone mind, going on tirades like a tornado of Tasmanian devils stricken with Tourette's. Sometimes I want to swaddle her and give her a bottle, but before you know it, she's all giggles and morning waffle making, escaping depression, pulling resilience out of a hat, abracadabbering into the maternal figure missing from both of our lives. She's my escape artist. Artists like novice painter of abstract portraits, artists like Nikon D90 wielding ninja, artists like poet who poets with the best of them, artists like culinary visionary, making meals prepared from my own imagination. Sometimes she draws conclusions prematurely, and I gotta provide the eraser. Sometimes her tongue is a taser, and those incendiary words are a full voltage blast to the center of my chest. Most times, she's my biggest cheerleader, and that megaphone of a mouth that lets the world know when I'm at my best. Sometimes she's just stressed, and I'm just stressed, and we're looking at our degrees sitting next to each other on a bookshelf, and they're looking like poses, and mine feels like a chastising father, and I feel like a failure, and I feel failure every time she has to call her father to play loan officer, as if the vows we exchanged wasn't promissory note enough to make sure that we ate every day. Sometimes she feels like mourning, and I feel like her unreliable son. Always making excuses as to why I can't break through the overcast, or at least provide clear skies when she has to fly. So I help her pack for temporary excursions. I let her leave it all behind. I say let her, as if I have a choice in the matter. Sometimes she's granite monument. Have you ever tried reasoning with stone? Sometimes it feels like she loves with an evacuation plan in her back pocket. Most times it feels like she loves like a safe haven. Sometimes I feel the tide rising in my eye is usually when I know she's reached cruising altitude. Most times I feel the wind blowing the corners of my mouth into a grin is usually when her text immediately follows the descent. Sometimes her attitude is turbulent, and I'm looking for the nearest flotation device just in case I have to make an emergency exit. Sometimes the latch is stuck, and I just gotta ride it out until we're sailing smooth again. Sometimes I'm in the cockpit in kamikaze mode, and she gotta make sure that 6 years worth of precious cargo doesn't implode. Have you ever feared losing the best thing you ever had? She's the daughter of a truck driver, a vagabond by blood. Sometimes she has to leave herself to come back to herself, but she always comes back better than she left. And I usually get a pretty cool t-shirt out of the deal. My favorite souvenir is the embrace she brings back to the terminal, her jet-lag frame curling into my open arms. Most times, she's the one keeping us grounded. And whenever she settles back in and rearranges everything in the house before ever unpacking, I always know that she plans to stay a while. Thank y'all, y'all so receptive. A couple more poems and then I will get out of your way.